Did you all see Serena Williams at the royal wedding? She looked stunning just 8 months after giving birth to her daughter, Alexis Olympia. And now she's ready to get back on the court, which is amazing. She has crushed the competition for much of her career, as you know, #1 in the world. Yet now, post-maternity leave, she's going to return to the Grand Slam tennis. Next week's French Open, ranked 453. That's right. She's going to return at a far lower rank because she committed the sin of having a baby. And tennis still treats childbirth like an injury. Joining me now to talk about that and a bombshell admission from legendary quarterback Brett Favre are the hosts of
American Ninja Warrior.
Yes, Matt Eisman and Akbar Bajamiyaville are here. Here they are. Hi. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Welcome. Great to see
Good morning.
you. You guys, the scruff.
Scruff.
I
right.
like it.
That's his GQ look.
It's good.
Looking tough. Because
Yeah.
what I was doing before apparently wasn't working, Megan.
Ooh, it's working just fine, Matt. All right, so let's just talk about Serena. The deal is that women's tennis still treats pregnancy as basically an injury,
Right.
and it applies the same rules as if you sprain your ankle and you're out for a few weeks and your rank drops. So now she's 453. The officials at the French Open could have chosen to overlook this, but basically said, we refuse.
You know, it's a broken, let me tell you, it's a broken system. Everyone knows. First off, 453. Just think about that. That's Serena Williams. You mean to tell me 452 people are better than Serena Williams?
Yeah, right.
That can't be right? So that clearly the algorithm is off. But, you know, I had a chance to speak with Clarissa Shields last night, who is the WBC and IBF champion. And I said, how does that work for boxing? And if you're the champion in boxing, how does that work? And she said, well, you'd probably have to ask for a grace period. And I think that's what needs to be implemented here is a grace period.
It is, but because, you know, her agent did say, though, she had to rebuild her body.
Of
I mean,
course.
give credit to a mother to go through
Absolutely.
childbirth.
Right.
Giving birth to one of us. And then returning to the court. So
So
she
if that's a
shouldn't lose
disadvantage to
ranking,
her
though.
physically, which
Yeah.
obviously pregnancy is a physical setback in a way, then it'll manifest on the court. That's up to Serena to get herself back on the court when she's ready.
Right.
But shouldn't she be allowed to come back in with the rank she had
I don't know if
when she went
necessarily
out?
coming back with the rank that she had, because I think 14 months is a long time, and there are a lot of people who are trying to work their way up the rank. But I think if they can come up with a system to where they say, okay, here's a certain grace period, maybe it's 7 months, 8 months, I don't know what that is. They have to come up with something that allows other competitors who are behind her to kind of work up the ranks. But still,
Or at least
she
for her to
shouldn't
be in the
drop
same grouping.
Yeah, in the same
Because
grouping,
she's so
but not to
low
drop.
now
That's ridiculous.
that they say it poses an unexpected elimination risk because she has to face her most serious competitors at the start of the competition now. And, of course, I laughed because it's like, poses an unexpected elimination risk for whom?
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm sure the rivals don't want to face her any earlier than they need to either.
And I guarantee the tournament doesn't want her out because they know who the biggest draw in tennis is,
Right.
and that's Serena. They want her there in the final. So
That's right.
they
Came
will
up with this
retool
system?
Well, the WTA, Women's Tennis Association, say they will consider the rules for next year on their ranking system, but not this year. That doesn't help her. But they do remain committed to evolving to account for the birth of human beings. So that's great. That's great. Hope springs eternal.
It is a miracle, though. It is a miracle, and credit to the mothers who do that and return so quickly, physiologically, as a doctor, considering what a woman's body goes through. For her to return is just remarkable.
Yeah, it
But
is.
we saw
And she was
Clijsters
bedridden for 6 weeks after the birth of her child.
Right.
She almost died, apparently. She had severe medical issues. Anyway, okay, we're rooting for her. I think my prediction is Serena gets the last laugh on all of this. Okay.
From 453 back to #1.
We've got to talk about Brett Favre, right? So Matt, in addition to American Ninja Warrior host, was a doctor, and Akbar, in addition to American Ninja Warrior host, used to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
Brett Favre with a really stunning admission that he was in rehab, not once, not twice, but 3 times while in the NFL, twice for Vicodin addiction, once for alcohol, and it harkens back to a quote he gave in 1996 where he said, "I'm 26 years old. I just threw 38 touchdown passes in 1 year. I'm the NFL MVP. People look at me and say, I'd love to be that guy. But if they knew what it took to be that guy, they wouldn't love to be him. I can guarantee you that."
Yeah. You know, that was an eye opener for a lot of fans. But having played in the NFL, the truth is that Brett Favre is correct. I mean, for what we go through as NFL players, especially the culture then was, there's this thing called the T train where guys will line up literally to take this thing called Toradol. And
Toradol?
Yeah, Toradol. And what this does,
It's
an
a
anti-inflammatory,
medicine.
and it kind of helps to reduce some of the pain and the effects that you feel during the game. It's a violent sport. It really is. Now, the culture has changed since then in the NFL, but players would have easy access to these Vicodins, to these, and you look at the opioid epidemic in this country, and you see kind of what they're going through. And the same thing was going on in the NFL locker room to where players had this access, they built this tolerance, and before you know it, you're addicted to Vicodin. It wasn't that hard to get it after a game. Say, hey, I got this broken thing, or I got this, this muscle bruise. Hey, here you go. Here's some Vicodin.
This is a reflection of what we're seeing in society at large, this opioid epidemic. And there's a misconception, and this was something we dealt with in medicine, was that if it's prescribed by a doctor, it's safe.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we saw was pain-seeking behavior, where people would come in knowing what they had to say to try to get these prescriptions. And it's unfortunate that when you look at things like marijuana or things that players use to get pain relief, that's outlawed by the NFL Players Association. That's tested for, and that might be a more effective pain reliever and less addictive than opioids. But they're prevented from using that. They're encouraged to use these things that we know
which are
have
highly
an addictive property.
And by the way, just as an aside, we've had parents on here advocating this, parents who have lost children to ODs of legally prescribed drugs. Just reminding parents that, how I had my 3 C-sections. When I had my 3 C-sections, they gave me, I don't remember what it was, one of those drugs.
Or Vicodin, yeah.
And I took like 2 the day that my kids were born, and then I brought the bottle home and put it in my medicine cabinet thinking maybe I'm going to need that later. I don't know. But then later never comes, and the pills sit there.
Yeah.
And a lot of teenagers in particular will grab they'll go over to their friend's house, they'll steal them, and OD. So it's very dangerous.
Yeah, it's
and good for Brett for
too.
just being honest about it now and talking about it openly.
Well, this is the price that we don't want to talk about, that a lot of these athletes pay, is sacrificing their bodies. And it's something we don't talk about with CTE is the same thing. We're now starting to see these bills come due. And these are the hard questions that people have to ask when they deal with these physical sports.
And you see,
are we willing to pay these consequences?
It's not worth it. I look at my little ones and I think, oh my God, I shudder at the thought of them drinking alcohol or trying any sort of drug. But to think that they would be in a sport where it was not only accepted but even condoned, that sort of abuse.
Well, I will say now that the NFL has taken a totally different approach to where now players are more aware of the effects of these Vicodins. They're not passing it out like candy. There used to be the black bag going around the plane after a game. You'd be chartering back to your home city. Black bag comes around. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Now that culture no longer exists in the NFL. So that was the culture then in '95.
Good, and people need to be on aware of it, on the lookout for it. All right. Speaking of great athletes, Brandi Chastain. So she gets honored.
This is a good story.
She gets It's like the Hall of Fame. She gets inducted into the Bay Area Hall of Fame, and so she's a beautiful woman, right?
Yes.
And take a look at the little plaque they did of Brandi. Yeah. People say it looks more like Mickey Rooney than Brandi Chastain.
Babe Ruth.
Or Babe Ruth.
When Pablo Picasso was looking at it going, is that supposed to be a face? It looks like Han Solo
What
when he
is
was
that?
frozen in carbonite. It looks like Rex Ryan. It is terrible. Akbar actually goes, wait, Mickey Rooney or Andy Rooney from 60 Minutes? You know what I really feel bad for is the artist. Because I know this artist did the best job he or she could, and now they're like, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
But you know what?
To quote a line from the song, your best isn't good enough.
Right.
I mean, they're not revealing his or her identity, so
I
to
wouldn't
spare the public embarrassment.
Please
which is
don't
good.
reveal it because, you got to think when they're doing that, they're thinking like, do I have it right? But it's kind of like the whole thing, Laurel and Yanny. It's just like, I hear one thing, you hear the other. And I think with the artist, they're looking as like, no, I see Chastain. That's Chastain. And his wife or her husband is probably like, that's not, no, it is.
Do you remember the Lionel Richie Hello video where the blind woman made the bust of Lionel Richie? It looked more accurate than this bronzer did.
It looks
That's a bad sign.
It reminds me of the Lucille Ball,
Right. Yes.
right? The Lucille Ball statue, which looked nothing like Lucille Ball.
Put it this way: if they ever offer to do a bronze bust of you, maybe say, let's do a
No.
painting.
Yes, look, that's the Lucille Ball one.
Oh, she
Like,
looks scared.
maybe it's the same
petrified.
artist. Maybe it's the same one. Maybe we should out the person.
I mean,
All right,
look at the teeth.
listen, in better news, after initially saying they were not going to redo the Brandi Chastain one, they now are.
Yes.
Which is good.
A different artist, I'm
But you know
sure.
what?
Let's hope.
Why not use technology, though? They've got these 3D printers and everything. Technology could easily produce that in a better way.
I know. Or just, like a photo's fine in the Hall of Fame. You don't actually have to plaque. It's not even required.
Right.
So you guys are participating. It's Thursday night on NBC. And tell us what you're doing.
So Red Nose Day is all about raising money to try to help end children's poverty, help children improve their health, safety, and education. So it's a 3-hour live marathon. We're leading off with Celebrity Ninja Warrior, where super famous people are going to tackle the course like this guy.
For the first time, I'm going to be running the course for American Ninja Warrior. I've seen thousands of athletes do it. Now it's my opportunity. I just hope my guy here doesn't make fun of me as I'm going through.
Oh, he definitely will.
No. Listen,
But it's gonna
after
be
his
fun.
first pitch, there's no way his run can go any worse.
Why are you going to bring up my pitch on national TV?
I know that was wrong.
But it's Hollywood Game Night. There's
Yes.
going to be a special celebrity edition of
Jane
that.
Lynch.
That's fun.
And then there's going to be a live broadcast where we have no idea what's going to happen. Chris Hardwick, Jane Lynch, and the two of us live right here at 30 Rock.
Oh, my God.
No
Yes, come
censors,
on
no
out.
microphone.
I will buy a ticket to that.
Come on out.
Guys,
Raising money for charity.
I'm looking forward to it. Always great to see you both.
Megan.
All right, again, Red Nose Day. It's a special, and it airs tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Central, or 9 Central, right here on NBC. And
American Ninja Warrior.
returns on May 30th, also on NBC. We'll be right back.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.